And happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the first day of spring at WOMO. My name is Elisa Blow, and when the first day of spring comes around, everybody starts to feel good. They think about taking their winter tires off. It was pouring rain where I live. Still a little cold, a little damp, but we are very happy that spring is hopefully in the air anytime soon. But guess who's back? Randy's back. And Randy, we missed you. We missed you so much.
Well, isn't that sweet?
I'm sure everybody is just breathing a big sigh of relief because they don't have to look at me and Jeff anymore.
Yeah, right.
Finally have somebody who understands this game back to talk about it. And Randy, while he was on vacation, he said to me, "Oh, Lisa, I'm going to go to Florida. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." And then it turns out he got his master plumber's license.
Unbelievable, eh, boy? I've made some really dumb decisions in my life. Like I'm telling you, I mean, it's a list that would be longer than Santa's naughty list. But this has got to rank right up there. I mean, I'm proud of myself. I'm about to turn 61 years old, and I'm making the stupidest decisions still at this point in my life. I mean, unbelievable. How anybody would be dumb enough to get a vacation, plan on going to Florida, and then somehow or another have that metastasize into redoing a bathroom from YouTube. I'm not, like, I can barely tie my shoes for the love of God, let alone redo a bathroom. And here I am doing it off of YouTube. So
I love it.
Anyway,
we gave us a whole bunch of giggles over the last 3 weeks. Like we were trying to get before and after renovation pictures. I got you a couple of jobs here. I did. We're going to start to call him Randy Vila. You're writing a book now, right? The song "If I Had a Hammer." That's,
and the funny part is like I did have like a lot of painting to fall back on. I had done a lot of painting in my life,
but it was fence painting.
That's right. Never drywall or mudding or anything like that. But the painting came quick.
So you're a mudder.
I'm a mudder. I'm a mudder. That's right.
Oh, man. Well, it's great to have Randy back, and it's great to start off a new week here at Woodbine Mohawk Park with this great Pick 6 carryover. It's a double carryover going into tonight's program, and it's a good one, too. $36,551, and that will kick off in race number 4. So we've got that to look forward to. We got an open 2, Randy, for the girls. That'll go as race number 5. That's a nice little race, too, the 5th race on the card tonight. And guess what? The jackpot high five just continues to grow. It hasn't gone since you left.
No.
153,000.
It doesn't take long, does it?
No, it sure doesn't.
It just seems like it just, we have a mandatory, and then all of a sudden, within a week or two, it's at 60, and then now it's at 100. And now it's back at $150. All
right, so 10 races in store for you tonight as we take a look back at what happened last Monday, where we had some New Holland racing action. That was the feature race for the night. And Safe Conduct came back with a flat line after making a break the start before. That's the Christoforou trainee, so that was exciting. But this had me thinking about you, Randy. Dagfinn Henriksen upset with this horse called
None Shall Pass.
There you go. And
That's
I
right.
was saying it on the show. That's something you say to me all the time when So Much More wins.
Yeah, when she pins those ears.
Yes. And a $2 wager on her was a 50-cent return. So that was really fun. Bob McClure, of course, got that win with Safe Conduct. We're going to look back at that. And then we got the carryover, obviously, with the Pick 6 because of some of the long shots on the program. But let's take a look back at Bob McClure's victory with Safe Conduct in the New Holland Trotting Series, because that was a fun win for them. And look at this weather. Like, Randy, that was one of the worst drives home for me the other night.
This is where you need the New Holland snowblower.
Yes.
This is it. This is where you need the New Holland snowblower. And guess what? In 2 months, we're going to need the New Holland grass cutter.
That's right.
That's right. But this horse raced amazingly well. And something like, I swear Bob has watched Chris drive this horse so many times, because even at the end there where he has a choice to go to the outside or should I go to the inside, this horse is always so much better when he's down on the inside, like in amongst them at the end of it. That's when he can sizzle these last quarters in 26 and change. And he took the short route with him, and wow, nice effort.
It's been a really productive season for him, considering what happened.
Couple of months,
considering what happened. I mean, he's been able to win a couple of opens and then winning that as well. That was a good group that he was in against the other night. So yeah, we are in for hopefully some better weather tonight. I'm not sure if the fog's going to roll in or not. I hate to say that word. It's the other F word. We had nothing but rain in Niagara all day long, and I know they were threatening here with freezing rain, and they had to cancel the qualifiers for this morning, and they've rescheduled them for tomorrow.
Yeah, we did get a bit of freezing rain here first, early this morning, but it was gone by about 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah. I think we've all had enough of this winter.
I would say.
Alrighty, let's get started with the handicapping. Get Randy to dust off his handicapping skills and provide us with at least 50% of the winners on tonight's program. Starting in the opener, Phillies and Mares 5-year-olds and younger nominators at $2,000 or $30,000. Oh, I'm so relieved. I don't have to be the expert anymore. It's all about him now. Okay, so here in this race, and I know you haven't missed any of the races. You've been watching them. Obviously, we don't have Dougie on tonight's program. We're just finding out about that. So JD picks up the ride drive with the 5 Tropical Cyclone for Amanda Riley. I think Angels Among Us, though, is the horse to beat, listed 3-1 in the morning line and currently at 2-1.
I agree. That's where you went?
That's where I went.
Yeah, me too. We're going to show you the replay. Now, I tried to go with the replays, and this was a tough night, but I tried to go with the replays that show you a little bit of something. Some of them, it's going to be tough to see. This one's not too bad, but what I want you to see is when you look at her program, right, Elisa, like if you look at that last line where she's a winner, would you not say that was a pylon skim?
Oh, I would think so.
Okay, so let's take a look at the replay on Angels Among Us, because she, to me, is a much, much better effort than what that piece of paper shows. So we can see her back at the pack. And for it to be a pylon skim, it means that she's going to stay right to the inside, but she doesn't. And watch how wide she's going to come off this turn. She's now she's about 3 wide. Now she's about probably about 3.5 to 4 wide. And now she's going to get even wider. And this is what I'm saying. I think it was a bit of a deceiving line. If you look at it, it looks like she never left the fence, got everything her own way. She didn't. She did a lot of work. And I'm telling you, as a driver, when you come off that top turn and you got to come across the track, fan across 5 or 6 wide, you lose a lot of momentum. She kept hers. So I think that we had a good pick. And do you want to give me a congratulations on the qualifier visual?
I do. Thank you very much. Because it's been really slim pickings when looking for replays,
I'm going to tell you one thing. Chad has been eating his carrots because I don't know how he's been seeing those horses.
Buddy. Chiclets.
Oh, unreal.
Yep. Listen, there were some nights there where your guess was as good as his. Right? So, and we weren't sure about some of the chart lines on some of the horses either, because could they really see what was going on out there? And even I had said the one night when you just couldn't see 3 feet in front of you, I said, I hope there's a lot of chatter going out there on the racetrack, because really, if you're sitting, behind 2 other horses, you don't know what's going on in front of you, and somebody makes a nasty break. It could have been a disaster, right? So in those cases, you guys are all talking to each other. No?
Nope.
It's silence?
Silence. Man. That's what makes it even creepier, because not only is it silent, but you can't see. So now it's silent and you can't see where you're going. There's been times at this place, and Mohawk has always been bad for fog. Thick fog will roll in here. There has been times that I've been sitting 3rd in the mile and can't see the horse on top. I can see the guy in front of me. I can barely make out his horse, but the one that's in front of him,
can't see it.
Nothing.
And there was a night like that. Yeah. So all right. So hopefully everything will be good for us this evening as we flip the page over to race number 2 on tonight's card. Nominators at 2,500 in their last 4 starts. You look at this race. It's just a 7-horse field, but the classy old guys are going to do all right in here. Buck Dancer and Mr. Magic, both these horses from the Osceola barn. However, Eurobank Hanover is an interesting entrant here tonight, because this is the first, I believe, the first determination horse that we're going to see at the meet. It is the first one that Luke is sending out. So, and I saw the trailer when I came into work tonight, and that means they're back and ready to go.
Yeah, they're always, when they start bringing horses in, it's always a nice feeling, because boy, do they ever have nice horses, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, so Eurobank Hanover, very interesting kind of a horse here. And is this where you went?
I put him in second.
Where'd
I
you
went
go?
to Buck Dancer because he's been racing. He's ultra consistent. I wasn't too sure what to do with Eurobank Hanover because of all the breaks that he's made in the past, and even the first qualifier where he makes a break, and I mean the last one's okay, like he gets around, but I think we just need a flat line tonight, right?
Well, I agree. There's no doubt about that, and he's got a lot of changes coming in, right? They're taking him off the Lasix, and the other thing is he's got no hobbles on now. They did try him at the end of last year with no hobbles coming off of the qualifier, and he made a break. Then they put the hobbles back on him, qualified him this time 2 times. First time made a break, and they left the hobbles off of him. They're going to keep them off of him. Now, this is the tricky part, is this last qualifier. Now, he's going to be my top pick in here, and the biggest reason why this is going to be a tough one for you guys to see, but trust me on this, there's just certain points of the mile that I think that this horse is showing he doesn't need the hobbles. He gets jammed up going around the last turn and come through that with flying colors. Bobby moved him to the outside, come through that with flying colors. And to me, right on the end of it, I think deceivingly, this horse is loaded. And he's showing a last quarter in 27 and change. Now, if he's as loaded as I think he is and still shows 27 and change, what's in there? So let's take a look at the last qualifier on Eurobank. Hanover. And like I said, this here, he gets jammed up with them, and he has to get him to the outside of the track, but gets jammed up to do it. And what I liked about that, he's going to let this horse go. He's going to make his way to the front. Now he's going to let the horse go around him here, and then they're going to start to jam up. And when they jam up, like I said, he's got to take a snug hold of them, but no issues for a horse that, needed those trotting hobbles last year. He has no issues with them at all this year. Never seems to put a ripple in. Bobby's having no issues with them, able to get him to the outside of the track. Now, again, you're going to lose vision here, and you're going to lose it for a bit, but then down near the end of it, you're going to see Bobby finishing, I think, second or third with this guy. Well, fifth, but only beating a couple lengths. But to me, it's Snuff City. I think he's got all kinds of trot on the end of it, and that's showing 27. So we'll take a look at him here, getting a little bit closer. But again, he doesn't do a whole lot with him. He's just sitting there on him. But I think that there's lots here. You can see him now. He's just starting to come down in between the two of them. And look at the Bobby, straight up and down like a pillar. At no point does he ask this horse to do anything. And he is right in amongst them. And this is a quarter and 27 and change. I think that a guy like Luke Blais, I think the Determination Stable do not keep this horse around unless he doesn't have talent. I think he's long gone out of their operation unless there's something that they like about him. So I'm going to take a chance with Eurobank Hanover, even with all the X's on his card, and put him up on top.
It's not a problem finishing. The problem is when the wings open with this horse, right?
So, and no hobbles.
Right. So if we can get him to the first quarter without making a break, then we're through the problem, I think. To me, if he's mine, I'm just crossing my fingers when he goes in behind the gate. Once we get going, then we're good, because it always seems to happen at the beginning.
Yeah. And
it's a habit now.
Yeah, and it's the scary part of it. Look at this last year's season.
I know,
Elisa.
7 wins.
7, but not a second, not a third.
No,
it's either
it's
win
all or nothing. It's
here we
win
go.
or run. Alrighty, that is race number 2. The third race on the card tonight, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and younger, non-winners of 1. And we've got a field of 9, and we do have a first-time starter in the mix here this evening. I love the name. I am a big fan of horses with great names, and I always think you got to take the mare and the stallion and mix that together and come up with a good name. And I love Courtney Robson's Detective Benson, because Detective Benson is out of a mare named Olivia V, and her name is Olivia Benson. You got to be a Law and Order fan to know this one, but I just want to give a shout out to that one. I went back to this 5-horse Our Sports Delight, second last start out. That was the first start of the season for this 3-year-old. It's a McNair training, so you're going to need a driver change here, as we have Dougie not driving tonight. But the winner was a Meg Crone trainee by the name of Westland Hanover, who was a really, really easy winner from off of the pace, made it look good. I'm just hearing now that it's Travis Henry that will be in the bike tonight. Did you go to the 5?
Put him in for third.
Yeah. Okay, so who'd you use on top?
I went Winsung Chelsea, and that is because the replay that we're going to show you, Winsung Chelsea and Our Sports Delight went tooth and nail.
Yes, that's
last week. And, Our Sports Delight raced really good, but I think the other one raced a little better. But before we head forward on this, we're going to show a little bit more on this one. So, in my opinion, I think what happened here was that James more or less got popped out because they started to back down. They went a second quarter in, 31? No, 30 and 2. So they start to back it down, and I think he kind of got knocked to the outside, spit out on me. So he decides, hey, I might as well just go on the attack. We're not doing anything here. So he goes on the attack, but unfortunately, Doug heard him coming. So now Doug wires back up again. Now the pair of them go hard, in my opinion, all the way around the last turn. They both come up with a really good race. They dead heat on the end of it. But I think because of the trip that Win Sun Chelsea got, start, stop on the outside, maybe she might have raced just a little bit better. So I'm using Our Sports Delight in for third, Win Sun Chelsea. So let's take a look at the qualifier on Win Sun Chelsea. And you're going to see what I mean. You know, at this point, like I said, she's a big mare too. So she, to me, gets spit out. Now she's first over on the track. Dougie in front, but watch James. He doesn't come slow. He comes like, you know, hey, I think I'm going to get by. But now watch Dougie.
Yeah, he gets
Dougie,
after his
yeah. Now Dougie says, ha, I hear somebody coming. It's too late. You're out there. Now they're starting to go here. They're pacing. You know, these horses moved off their back. They're not making up any ground on anybody. Phil's not making up any ground. These two horses, they're going pretty good. James is taking a hold, trying to get some back into it. But every time he takes a hold, Dougie takes a hold. They've got two really, really sharp drivers with two evenly matched horses. And let's see how they do on the end of it. Now, like Elisa said, they are going to get picked off, and this one has just been a bearcat, this Westland.
Yes, this is a nice winner. It came from off of the pace to get the win, but those two, like you said, duked it out, and in fact, it was a dead heat for the second
Yeah,
spot.
I mean, they just went right tooth to nail, and right here, both of these guys not wanting to give the other one the second, you know? Gotta love that. Gotta love that action. So I'm going to go 8 onto the 1 horse, Cupid Shadow, onto the 5.
Onto the 5, Our Sports Delight. Okay, so that is race number 3 on the program. Let's go to the 4th race, because this is an important race on tonight's card. It's the first leg of the pick 6, where that double carryover comes into effect. That's over $36,500. It'll already be seeded into the pool. So this is a big wager for us here tonight. I looked up and down in this race, and aside from Pinewood Hanover, who I think draws a tricky post position on the outside, I only saw 1 horse, and it's the 3, the Fixer.
Yeah, you know, that is really, that's an interesting pick that you he's on. You put him on top.
I did, because I don't really see anything else in here. You're looking at, you know, pop-up series horses and some that have really been struggling as of late. The Fixer is, in my opinion, coming in from Flamborough with a couple of good confidence boosters. There's some second place efforts there. Willow Time came here to race really well for Herb Holland. And how many of these pop-up horses have we seen come in and win from London, from Flamborough lately? There's been quite a few horses from Flamborough that have come here to win. I
think you found the classiest horse in the whole race. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, anyway, he's got the most class, picks up McDonald, is, you know, 21 lifetime wins, knows how to get to the winner's circle, the whole deal. I didn't even use him.
Bless you.
I think it's the drywall.
Still in his nose, everybody.
I think
you
it's
didn't have a mask on?
No.
Oh, such a man.
So anyway, I think you found the classiest one. Now here's where it's interesting. So I'm going to go with the 8 horse, No Angel Like Me. Yep. That's going to be my top pick. But in my opening pick 5, I alled this race because this is a tough race.
Yep, I would agree.
In my pick 6, even though I didn't use the Fixer on my ticket, I threw him in as part of it. I went too deep in my pick 6. I used the Fixer and I used No Angel Like Me. So I'm amazed that you came on to the Fixer. Because like I said, I never used him in my opening picks, but doing my pick 6 tonight, I actually do like him in there. So I think it's a good pick on your part. But No Angel Like Me, you know, we've seen her on this track before. She knows how to win on this circuit. She doesn't win a lot, but when she comes here in the right kind of a class, she can get the job done. 2 weeks in a row, she's fired these huge third quarters. 2 weeks ago, it was 28 flat. Last week, 27 and 3, and still keeps coming forward on the end of it. I don't think she's going to have to do that. The big thing that Tyler's going to have to do is just get her into a spot where he's going to be able to get the race to bring him into the race. You know what I mean? Don't do anything too early with her, and I think she's going to fire home big time. So
race number 4, where we kick off the pick 6, and again, that carryover is more than $36,500. So get your friends together and put a ticket in. As Randy said, that race is a tricky one to get through as the early leg. Then we move over to the 5th, which really is the feature, the Fillies and Mares Open 2, which is a great group of pacing mares. I mean, top to bottom, Randy, these are some fantastic horses. You get Let's Enjoy, who's jumping up, who's looking for 7 in a row and taking on the big girls here tonight. You get Glenborough in off of a win. She's been a great horse. Caviar and Crackers. You know, Jeff and I both put Caviar and Crackers up on top last week in the Open because we were really surprised from the effort that she had first start off the layoff to win so easily back on March the 6th. You get Bad Girl Bridget, who's here for a really hot barn, this Beau Ford outfit. Sophie's here, so much more. She does need a driver. And Sunshine Magic. These girls have been in the Open against a Bearcat by the name of Angostura Hanover.
Yes. Is she ever, I mean, she's good. And I'll tell you something, McClure, you know, he has gotten along really, really good with Angostura Hanover, picking her up cold, you know. He's done really, really well with her. And it's not hard to see because she's a horse that likes to be kind of sneaky driven, used on the end of it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think him and Trevor have always got her into a good spot that if she's sharp, she's able to capitalize. So yeah, racing really, really good. And Bobby going to pick up Absolution tonight. Doesn't show it, but I think one of the last time Bobby drove Absolution, she was a winner. But again, another horse that likes to be sneaky driven, and Bobby's an expert at keeping one down. Where did you go?
I went to Caviar and Crackers. I'm still chasing her. I'm going to get her sooner or later. I missed her the first time, so I played her on top last start.
That's not why I'm
asking. Well, of course I have Sophie in my ticket.
Yeah.
She's in my ticket. I put her in for second. I love, last week we had a couple of quotes from Bob McClure about Angostura Hanover, and I love the one he said, you know, you don't really get the warm and fuzzies when so much more's on your back. And I really thought that was kind of cute. Of course I'd like to see her do it, but I get everybody sticking with Let's Enjoy, but 7 in a row is a lot to ask for from a horse, and the fact that she is taking on some really good old girls here tonight.
Yeah, it really is, you know, but I kind of went with James. You know, James, this is the way that he's going to go, so this is the way that I'm going to go. Let's Enjoy is what I'm going to go in here. I threw Absolution in for second, and Sophie, I got her in for third. All
right, let's go to race number 6. Sixth race is where we kick off the late pick 5. There's a scratch in here, Randy. You didn't have it. It's a new one. We're scratching the 5-horse CC Rockin' Rosie. That horse is a transportation scratch, so it gets us down to a field of 7. The outside 2 horses are the ones I think a lot of people are going to take a look at because we're looking at nominators of 9,500 in their last 4, and these girls are coming out of the Open, that being Western Wish, a 32-time winner, and Tells on a Roll, a 27-time winner.
Yeah, I didn't use Western Wish this week, but Tells on a Roll is the route that I'm going to go. But to tell you the truth, you know, I mean, and I know she's dropping down in that, but she's dropping down because to me the form just isn't there with her. I mean, it's not that she's racing bad. Nope. It's just that I've seen her race in way better form before, where she wouldn't be taking this drop down into this class. She'd just be chewing up the top mares on the circuit. So I am going to use her in here. The one that scares me the most is the 3-horse, Sorcia Sealster, going on to the Lasix program. We know what she's capable of. I've said this for a while now. I think that that's all that she has been missing is the Mighty L. I mean, you know, you see what she was capable of as a 3-year-old and the start of her 4-year-old year, and then she goes into her 4-year-old year and has 1 win out of 24 starts after racing so amazingly well. Well, maybe she tasted blood and she didn't like it after that. And since then, it looks like she has no problem, you know, still finishing, you know, with the seconds and the thirds, but she don't want to win. Now going on to the Lasix program, this could make a big difference. And it was hard for me not to pull the trigger first start on Lasix with her, because second start is my usual go-to, but she is so close to, you know what I mean? So maybe first start is all she's going to go. If Tells on a Roll was absolutely on her game, I would feel better about 8-3 for my exactor. But Tells on a Roll's not bringing her best form. And if Sorcia Sealster's been playing possum for a year and all of a sudden now she decides, hey, I'm going to start trying again, look out, because she could easily string together, you know, 5-6 wins in a row.
I know, but you see, like, I have been playing Sorcia Sealster all year long, and I haven't
But not on Lasix.
I have, exactly. But then I got Randy Waples. The good Randy Waples and the bad Randy Waples, right? Like, and you can picture this. Everybody has one. Your good Randy and your bad Randy. And the good Randy says, yeah, at least she's getting onto the Lasix program. And the bad Randy says, yeah, but don't use her until second start Lasix. Oh gosh. So yeah, I mean, I put her in for third here tonight, and that's because I've listened to Randy over the years.
Where did you go?
I put the 8 on top. I went 8, 7, and then the 3. I'm going to play Sorsha Sealster next week. All right, let's go to the 7th race. 7th race tonight, back on the trot, pop-up series racing. This is where we kick off the late pick 4. Okay, I put a star beside Goober Smack last year, and my star said, play again. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to play this one again.
Yeah, he raced huge. I mean, both of his last starts was really good, but the second one being over at Flamborough.
Well, but Randy, I was going to say, not only has Susie Kerwood done this, I've seen Herb Holland do this, I've seen a few other trainers doing this lately. They've been winning big at Flamborough for their first races back, right? Almost like a paid qualifier.
Yep.
And then they come here and they're good to go for the big money.
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember I raced Mach 3.
Oh, really?
First lifetime start, Flamborough Downs. Sat dead last.
Yeah?
Moved him 3 wide at the 3/4 pole, and look out.
Then see you later.
Yeah,
Yep.
but no, it's a good thing. You know, you get to
No,
go
it
over
is.
there,
No pressure.
a little easier competition, you know, and get a win, get some confidence going. So this is a tough race. In my late pick 5, I went 3 numbers in here. I went the 4 Jokic, the 7 Goober Smack, and the 9 Muscle Fashion. In my pick 6, I threw an extra one in here. I also went with the 5 Hungry Hill. I went 4 numbers in my pick 6, 3 in the pick 5, but I went Muscle Fashion. I think, again, with him, that's exactly what Katie Graham did. Took him over to Flamborough, got a nice little easy confidence builder into him, and brings him back, picks up McDonald again. He gets along really, really good with this horse, and I just think that he's in a spot where, James can take it to them.
Yep.
And that's where I think that this horse is at his best, is when they take it to him.
Yep, I just have been pretty impressed with this Goober Smack in that last race. So we'll go right back to him again tonight, but Randy is going to lone wolf it. You gonna do that? How about the 8th race? 8th race kicks off the final pick 3. There are 10 races on tonight's program. Fillies and Mares nominators of 6,000 in their last 4. We do need a driver with the 5. Oh, we got one. Louis Waugh. All right, Louis Waugh. All right. Couple of horses in here that have been impressive the last little bit. Madam X, she did make that break on March the 6th, but she came back and raced well last year behind Glenborough, who I believe was dropping in. And you're going to see Glenborough in the Open 2 tonight, so that gives you just who she was in against. Kalina Diamond beat Seclusion. I mean, that was pretty neat. So she's coming down to face nominators of 6,000 after trying nominators of 9,000. The 2 and the 3 stand out to me, and then I'm a fan of setting a precedent as far as looks go, but they had to scratch last week because that was the bad weather that we had last Friday night, and it was
Peterborough.
Well, look, Evan's calling tonight, and he showed us snowmobile pictures from out there today. So they had a lot of snow, and then Sugar Pie Honey for the Cullens, another one dropping out of that, dropping down to maybe get some money here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to have to start, putting a little bit more out there, Sugar Pie Honey, I mean, since they've claimed her, she's got a couple of checks in that, but just hasn't really, fired. So maybe this class change will help her. I myself am going to go to Madam X. I look at this Madam X as a free square in whether it be your pick 5 or your pick 6. I think you could key her in here. We're going to show you the replay of her. Take a look at her last 2 post positions. She's had an 8 and a 9. Now she's going to be working from the 2. Let's take a look at this replay. Now, sometimes you guys have heard me say, well, he's not going to get to the winner, so he's not asking him when he's finishing second. I used to do it a lot, and trust me, it is a very smart move. Anytime you can cheat time when you got to race on a circuit like this, you got to do it. So here's another example of where I think that, James is going to come off the turn first over with Madam X. He's been chasing. Now he's going to come up. In the meantime, Travis is gone with Glenborough. Now, watch the body language on James. He's going to finish second. He's going to ask her once, right there. Well, this time. And that's basically it. You don't ask anything more of her. Don't chase. Doesn't do anything.
Why
Shoulders.
bother?
Yeah, you're not going to catch her. So why not just let her muscle up, and be good? So
And you're
I think
clearly second.
right.
Yeah.
So she's got better post positions to work with tonight, And I don't think that there was much taken out of her last week.
No.
So I'm going to go take a chance with Madam X.
You and me, buddy. We both have the same
Cool.
one. So does Kevin Plaucha, and Garnet's using the 6 Sugar Pie Honey on the drop. All right, race number 9 kicks off the late double. Fillies and mares, 5-year-olds and younger, non-winners of 3 or 50. You get a field of 7 in this spot. Blinkers to a blind bridle to a pelling pacifier for the 6, Pizzazz Hanover, who also comes out of that Madam X race that we just saw back on March the 13th. So there's a great reference there. You saw Glenborough win by as easily as she wanted. You saw Madam X basically wrapped up, inside the wire, and then Pizzazz Hanover simply the 3rd best in that race too. With that equipment change here tonight, I think this is the horse to beat. This horse and Cobra Kate, because Cobra Kate unfortunately has had she's hooked up with some horses who have enjoyed good seasons, including Side Effects and Let's Enjoy.
Yeah, she's got her form's great right now, but going to come out of those claimers back into the straight non-winners of 3. So, she might be able to keep that form. We're going to have to see. I see Thiessen. He decided to go another way. He's going to go Stellar Manipulation. Pizzazz Hanover, interesting change. I hope I get to see J.F. McGuire. I find him to be a very interesting trainer anyway. I like asking him his thoughts on things, and I like to see why he's going to go from a blind to a pelling, because she's been racing really, really good, this filly. She went in 50-4 last year over our track, but since she's requalified back in February, her fight, nothing really, great in those 5 lines, like nothing fantastic, So, she's going to leave the tougher non-winners of 6,000, get back into the straight non-winners of 3 races. Andy's making a bridle change, going from blind to a pelling. Louis Waugh sticks around. She comes out of a barn that I have huge respect for the ability that he brings to his horses, JF. So Pizzazz Hanover, it's the way I'm going to go. You too?
Me too. Yep, I went exactly the same way as you. I did include, and I think I've said this a lot in the last 3 weeks that you've been on vacation, this Beau Ford barn. I mean, they're having a fantastic 2026 campaign. When I think about trainers that are really doing well right now, you're thinking about Fellows, you're thinking about Myrner, you're thinking about Beau Ford, and Ron McDonald as well. I mean, these are barns I don't want to leave off my ticket right now.
True, but I in a way, Beau Ford's really been stoking it up.
Yeah.
And this isn't a bad, I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. I just don't think he's got the power that these other guys have. He's got a lot of horses that came straight from the East Coast.
Yep.
These other barns you just talked about, Myrner,
they're going to have power.
Ron McDonald's got Salzbrook Victor. Like, they got some power in there. He's come in here with some really, really quietly and really, really stoked him.
But with numbers that he's given,
huge.
You have to think that owners
At
are
some
thinking,
point.
This might be a young guy that I'm interested in giving some horses to.
This is going to be an interesting ride.
Yes.
We might be seeing the start of something special.
I think it's just kind of cool when you get it. Like I was saying this last week or so on the show to Jeff. I just think it's kind of cool when you grow up watching racing. You're in PEI. Your ultimate goal is to get to Toronto.
Yeah.
You get here and you get the top guys wanting to drive for you. That's
Have you
gotta be a
talked to
thrill.
him yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't, but yeah.
He won't take the smile off his face.
I wouldn't either if I was him.
No, but he's one of those guys.
I
he's
love
just
it.
a kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of a guy.
Yeah. Just
really
think of
good.
all the people you know from out there. They're all great guys.
and I know a few of them. They ain't no happy-go-lucky going on there. I'll tell you that right now.
Race number 10 is how we wrap things up. Fillies and mares nominators at 2,500 in their last 4. And speaking of Gary Myrner, James McDonald, come on, Kira Seelster, Gary. Yeah, exactly.
We need you, Gary.
And you're going to see Gary come back, tomorrow, right? 5 days off for All Bets on Gary.
Yeah.
Who's been a really nice claim.
Cassidy Schneider, nice pickup, eh?
Great claim.
Yeah.
Kira Seelster.
Did you go back to her?
No, not tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
No, Kira Seelster.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You used her last week.
I did, and I put her back on top again tonight. I mean, I think the only real serious threat would be the Cullen horse, Santa Fe's Appetite. Maybe the 7, the Kwitnowski horse, but where'd you go?
I went to the 9 horse.
A cheese party.
I went to the cheese.
Off a 6 scratch. You must know something.
No, I don't. All I do know is that I've always been a big fan of her. I've used her at different times too, but she never seems to get on the right kind of a rotation. Now I see Kyle Bossens has lost her. Jared Mann picked her up, and I mean, Jared Mann's horses were racing extremely well here last year. Charmbro Stormy being one of them. He was just winning with everything. Now, he's only raced her twice, but in my opinion, both times she raced really, really good. The last one being 3 days. She races the 21st of February, then comes back the 24th of February. And then comes back, 2 weeks later, and she scratched vet sick. I'm wondering if she maybe wasn't a little sick in those other starts,
Possible.
but still good efforts. And you see what she brings, 208,000 lifetime, mark of 51, and recently changing barns. Louie's going to stick around and drive her. She does have the outside strictly for a price, Elisa. This is my worth a look play.
All right.
I think that, what she's brought in the past, I'm a big believer in back class. I think that they can find it sometimes, especially if they maybe move to a different barn where somebody's looking at them with a different set of eyes. Right. So Cheese Party is the way that I'm going to go. But Kira Seelster, I was watching the show last week there when you picked her, and boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, talk about on good form.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your favorite cheese?
Cheddar.
You're just
I'm an
a
easy
cheddar
guy.
guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
see,
easy
I
kind
like
of
the
a
blue
guy.
cheese. Love the blue cheese. Yeah,
Yeah.
old cheddar? Or mild?
no,
or you're just a
just a
plain
normal
You probably were a
Kraft.
Velveeta person.
Just a Kraft cheddar kind of. I'll tell you though, people that really do like cheese, if you know anybody up near the Kincardine area, there's a little town up there called Pine River. Pine River cheese. Oh my God!
Send it this way.
It is unbelievable. If you know anybody up that way, get some Pine River cheese. Trust me, you will love it.
And send a block of plain old cheddar down to Randy. With the cost of groceries right now,
Yeah.
geez, I'll take whatever I can get. All right, you got an early pick 5 for us here tonight. Oh, and you hit the all button in race number 4.
Oh, you know it. You know it. I love that all button. Okay, so I'm going to start this off kind of small. 1 and 9, Exquisite Dancer and Angels Among Us is the way that I'm going to go starting this off. In race number 2, I'm going to use Comma, my third pick, and Eurobank Hanover, my top pick. Race number 3, I am going to single Win Sun Chelsea. We showed you that replay. Race number 4, my top pick is going to be No Angel Like Me, but I think you could go a million different ways in this race. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe I hit a price. Race number 5, Let's Enjoy. It's a big move up. But boy, oh boy, I've said all along since I started this job, I will support a horse moving up in good form.
That's right.
And look at her form.
Yeah, as opposed to one coming down with
Right,
poor form.
right.
You've got a pick 6 ticket for us too. And only a $32 one. Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, so the pick 6 ticket, it's going to start, my single's going to come along in race number 5.
Yep.
That is going to be Let's Enjoy again. Race number 7, in my opening pick, my late pick 5, I went 3 numbers, but in my pick 6, because I had a couple singles, I went 4 numbers. I went the 4, Jokic, Hungry Hill, Goober Smack, and Muscle Fashion. In race number 8, back to a single, that's going to be Madam X. And then closing it off with EA Moneymaker and Pizzazz.
I like it.
Hanover.
I like it a lot. And if you want to play it for 20 cents, it's even less. So that's good stuff. And you got a late pick 5. Boy, you did all the homework, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I've had a few weeks there to do nothing. So,
In between, mudding.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is it. The big thing that I did learn from that, though,
What?
from out there, you never want to cock too early. That's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because you think you're doing a good job, but you're probably going to have to come back and do it again.
Randy,
so
I
that is
missed
one
you.
thing. Be really, really careful. Do not cock
We
too
should
early.
make a hat that says that. Or a shirt
I
that
would
says
say. So in my only the 2 singles in my late pick, that's going to come along in race number 8. That's going to be Madam X. And in race number 10, I am going to single my top pick, Cheese Party. I just think that there's a chance that she could come in here and upset the apple cart.
All right, good stuff. By the way, Tyler Borth is going to pick up the drive with Sophie so much more in race
Oh,
number
he
5.
knows
And
her.
that's good. He knows her very, very well. I sent a late pick 5 in, and it's a skinny one because I knew Randy was going to be doing all the work here tonight. So it starts off with a single in race number 6, that being Tells on a Roll. I got a single in the 7th race with Goober Smack. I'll use the 2, Madam X and Kalina Diamond in the 8th. I'll use, I did kind of the same as you. I went a little deeper in race number 9 with the 4, the 5, and the 6. And then the 10th race, I used the 2, Santa Fe, Appetite, and Kira Seelster. I feel very strongly about this ticket, by the way. For
You like it?
$20. I do like
I
it.
like it a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. Plays of the night. Did you find, Jeff says, it's really hard to find 4, Lisa. Did you find 4, Randy?
did so.
Okay, what do you
I
got?
don't know if there were 4 good ones, but I found them. Okay, Waples Watch is going to be the Eurobank Hanover
Yep.
in race number 2. Beat the favorite, Muscle Fashion, from the outside, but I like him coming over here, especially when he's got that little tightener at Flamborough under his belt. Race number 8, all in on Madam X tonight. And my worth a look, race 10, is going to be the Cheese Party.
Cheese Party. And where are you supposed to go? Pine Hill?
Pine River.
Pine River.
Pine River.
Okay.
Pine River cheese. If anybody from up that area, I'm telling you, ask them about Pine River cheese, their eyes will light up.
Okay.
It's amazing.
All right. So I went our sports site. We're kind of competing against each other in that race.
Head to head.
I went with Caviar and Crackers as an upsetter. In the 5th race, I went with Tells on the Roll, who's dropping and popping, and I told you, I wrote down play again beside Goobersmack, so I'm listening to what I'm saying, and I'm going to go back again to that horse in race number 7. So that's a look at Randy's top selections, my top selections. Here's the top plays of the night. Kevin Plouch has got the fixer. I agree with him. I think the horse stands out in there. Mystic in the 4th race. That's the Renee Dion horse, I think, and Pizzazz Hanover at 3-1 to kick off the late double for Ghislaine Paquette. And before we say good luck for your selections on the 10 races here tonight, we do want to just point out just something good that's happening in the racing community for a good cause. Our drivers here, and I think at some other racetracks, are going to be donating a portion of their earnings to the Hunter Meyer family. Now, we lost Hunter in a racing accident at the Meadows back on March the 19th, so basically a year ago yesterday. And from talking to James McDonald, you and I were just discussing it with him, like he said, you know, if they were in his shoes, they'd want the same thing to happen for their family, especially with young kids. And his girlfriend, wife Chloe, has a brand new baby, so they're there to support.
We've seen it our whole life. We see it all the time. You know, if there's a cause, a good cause, the horse racing people always get behind it on both sides. Standardbred, thoroughbred.
Brings
Trainers,
us together
drivers,
sometimes.
Grooms, you know, grooms will give to it there. And I mean, they're not exactly, you know, people throwing money at the grooms for the 14-hour days that they have to put in. They'll give to it too. It's the way of horse racing, Elisa. You know, we're very, very fortunate that we are in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting, because we claim off each other.
Yeah.
You know, owners get changed around, drivers get fired, and a new guy gets put on. But when something like this happens, we all seem to
tie together.
Come back together again for a good cause. So
nice.
Just wanted to point that out. Some of our drivers
well done, boys.
will be doing that tonight. Thank you very much for that. Okay, we will take a break, and when we come back, we'll get a look at the horses for race number 1 on this Friday night.